How about now? Yeah, see, this is really loud. I need. Ooh, yeah. And let's add some audio for this, and let's see what it sounds like. It's not getting audio. Why not? Okay, so I'm getting audio through my mics, but I'm not getting it through that. Why not? Stop, people. Okay. Let's look at my settings. Huh. Still nothing. Oh, that's why. Let's change this to 0. It's because I'm not outputting properly. There we go. That's really loud, so I'm going to turn it way down. Because I don't really want you to hear what's going on there very much. Sorry if that was like an ear blast. Okay, so I've created a new rides for sale thing here, and I'm going to take a studio shot from here. This is the latest stuff we shot. And I'm going to send it to the end. Now, before you saw me syncing the audio to the video, this is already synced. We captured it in the camera. I was able to hook my mics up to the camera and use that to capture the video. So that's good. Let's put, I have the LUT on. Okay, we're going to change this to dual mono. And I'm going to detach the audio. It's already synced, but I want it detached because they do bleed over to each other, and I need to be able to cut those out. So she starts there with hello, everyone. I need that tool instead, and this is the end. They did make mistakes, but I don't think they restarted this one. And, oh yeah, to do this, best way to do this is to remove that track and remove that track, and then collapse the audio components. Collapse the opponents. That would be really nice. Let's collapse opponents. All right, and is my tour box active? Yes. Ooh, don't want that. I need to be able to hear it somewhat. Not with the feedback. I should have headphones. I just don't have the connections for everything right now because I'm using my headphone connection for my microphone. That's silly of me. Whoops. All right, so I'm actually going through a full edit here. So if you want to skip forward, you know, I mean, it is live right now, but if you want to skip forward afterwards and see the main lesson, and then you can go ahead and do that. And it'll be a little quiet through here. She says, yeah, there, I think. That's interesting. I didn't record it with the mics. I think next time I will, because I think it's cleaner that way. I'm seeing it, the audio is very low level, and I'm not sure I like that. Not that it's bad to have the audio on the camera, because it does make it easier. And you saw how easy this was. I didn't have to sync it. I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm editing in silence right now.
They're a business.
Yeah, so you can see on the waveform right here, you can see where she's talking as opposed to where he's talking. He's a lot louder than she is, but she still carries over onto his mic. So mostly because she's looking at him rather than talking into her own mic. So like she says something right there, and you can see the volume difference between his and hers. It's not that his is turned up, it's that her mic is right here, and so she's not talking to that. She's talking to his mic, and that's what picks it up. Okay, and she's going to talk here a little bit more. It's one of the downsides of lavaliers. I'm going to put this down just a bit because I keep going forward. It looks goofy. Look like I'm in a Zoom call. I think he swallowed his gum. I think he had gum in his mouth and he swallowed it right there. Okay, so she's on top this time. rid of all of these. Well, that's him talking. That's her talking. So what did I do here? All right, she starts. He says something there. All right, I guess I'll just get rid of the bottom on both of those. And switch. And let's go there and there. All right. Okay, good. That should make the audio at least sound better. My audio lanes are missing, so let me take a look at those. I don't need them that big. All right. I'm going to copy and paste this.
And welcome to another gripping episode.
That's better.
That was a weird way to kick things off.
It's only at 5. So let's go to 7.
So my sister, I go to see my sister.
7's pretty.
And we're talking about.
Let's take it to 0. It was at -5 is what it was.
Asks me, what is somebody supposed to do if they don't want to buy a car from a dealership, but they still have to navigate buying a car from a person?
All I need is volume. And for the rest of these, volume. So this trick is Command C for copy, and instead of Command V for paste, it's Command Shift V, and allows me to paste the attributes of the other things. Okay, so let's move these over. Plus 20. Move these. Good. Let's grab La Música. And La Música aquí. There we go. Let's cut this. Whoops. I meant to hit B. Okay. Oh yeah, the background. It's gonna go all the way through. Good. And then I'm going to grab this effect, paste it here. Gosh, that SE sharpen really makes them all blurry. Let me remove that effect. I think that'll do it. I think we'll just leave it like that. That looks really nice. Okay. My dog is going nuts. A crazy dog. Oh yeah, that's why. Instead of that, let's go. No. Multi-output device. Let's see if this still shows it. Nope.
On that car, for instance, then they're just trying to move that, you know, for as much money as they can.
I'm going to give them a little more volume just so I can hear them.
They owe more than the car's actual value.
All right, so we have a couple of options here. So one of the things they like to do is,
So my sister, I go to see my sister, and we're
While they're
talking
talking,
about the used car market, and
they want it to zoom in. So here's one way, and this is the way a lot of people will do it. They will cut the clip where they want it to zoom in, and they will go over to the inspector and go into the transform and do the zoom in process like this. Zoom in just a little bit more. Like that. So then they get
And
this.
we're talking about the used car market, and she asks me, what is somebody supposed to do?
So that's one way of doing
if
it.
they don't
And
want to buy a car from a dealership?
this is an all right
but
way
they
of
still
doing
have
it.
to
The issue with this is, and it's probably the most
go to
widely
the
used,
used car
the issue
prices
is
right
that
now
you
and
have,
her when she wants to buy.
I don't.
you have to
that's a
basically
different
make
way.
edits all the time. So if
The
I'm going to
used
do it
car
with this, and I find out where I want it to end, and what I can do is I can copy this and paste it, but I have to make sure I don't paste the effects. I only paste the transform attributes.
So if you don't want to buy
Okay.
from a dealership and you want
So that's one way of doing it. Now let's go into another way. I'm going to do new multicam clip. I'm going to call it 010 Zoomies. Okay. And it's based on this clip that I have here. I'm going to remove the audio. I think it's that clip. B01, A01, 427YJ. Yeah. All right, so I don't want any audio on this. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to create I'm going to add an angle. Charity zoom. Oh, it would help if I spelled it right. Okay. Now, if I were to take this and duplicate it and drop it into each of these, now I can take Herb Zoom and I can adjust the scale, move it over so it fits for him. And let's do the Charity Zoom. She moves a little more, so that's the concern I have with her. Let's go a little tighter. Okay. So now I have that multicam. All right. Now let's replace this with the multicam. Okay. No audio.
to go about navigating those higher
Oh, it
prices.
started it from the beginning. Oh, that's rough. So let's go.
Well, so the difference is well, so
Replace from start.
Go about navigating those higher prices.
well, so the difference that
Okay, so
a
now
lot
what
of
I have to
consumers
do
don't realize
is I do
that
have
the
to apply these
dealership
effects.
Can hold the car for long periods of time because they have a lot of cash. I mean, dealerships make.
Looks like I'm a couple of frames off too, so let's actually zoom in real tight. Now, this is something you would start off with. It's not something you would do, right in the middle of an edit. So,
Well, so the difference that a lot of consumers don't realize is that the dealership can hold the car.
okay, yeah, it'll work. I'll adjust the timing later.
Is that the dealership can hold the car.
Okay, so now if I want to zoom in on Herb, all I have to do
A lot of consumers don't
is hit
realize
number
is
2.
that.
Oh, yeah, let's do this. So instead of adding that to this, let's zoom in again and sync it up.
Well, so the difference.
Right, so the difference.
Well, so the difference that a lot of consumers don't realize is that the dealership. The dealership can hold the.
Okay. So rather than applying the effects there, we're going to apply the effects here. Okay. And now it's on all of them.
Well, so the
now I just go
the difference that
hit the
a
number
lot
2.
of consumers don't realize is that the dealership can hold the car for long periods of time because they have a lot of cash. I mean, dealerships make, it's not that they
Or a business.
And I go back to
well, a
1.
business. They have sales,
Go to
parts,
2.
service. They have a whole.
So it's as if they're 3 different cameras. So I just, on my keyboard, I'm just hitting number 1, number 2, number
Typically,
3.
a car considered a dealership for 30, 60, 90, 100 plus days. And the decision makers at the dealership are able to kind of control the prices and, start the prices at whatever. And then, if the car is not moving or there isn't demand for that specific vehicle, they can start playing with the price until it gets to what we call a transaction point. The average.
Okay, so that process there is fairly simple. And now I'm going to show you the third method. And it takes a little bit of a setup here just because it's kind of the way I'm doing things right now. I'm not editing a whole new one. So let's do this. Let's put this down here. This is going to mess with the end stuff. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. That's not what I wanted to do. Right there. And let's adjust this back to 100. Okay, so that's the other, that's a second method. And then the third method is using an effect. Now, here's what I did. I'm going to explain the effect a little bit. I think it's actually in, that's Stephen Wade. It's in Rides for Sale. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I have this left zoom and right zoom. Okay, these are titles. I'm in my titles section here. So if I were to take left zoom and drop it over here, it automatically creates a zoom.
Car, for instance, then they're just.
And
trying
I have
to
some
move that,
adjustments that I've
for as
created
much
in
money
here
as
so
they
I can
potentially get. And by underwater, what I mean is they owe more than the
maneuver
car's
them around. I'm having a
actual
little
value
trouble
is.
here just because.
And so that's one of the advantages of transacting.
Where my camera is
peer-to-peer
located, I see
is
myself, and I
that
don't want to see
you're
that right now
gonna be
because
able to negotiate,
I can't see my inspector. So let me
typically,
move this a little bit.
better. You're just in
Title.
a better position to negotiate because the person
Okay,
that's trying
so
to get rid of
now I
that car
can
is in a position
back.
to that car.
I can
for
adjust my
instance,
position.
Then they're just trying to move that
A little bit like
for as
that.
much money as they can
Move it up.
potentially get. And
I
by
can have a right zoom for her.
Consumer is more prone to make emotional decisions than at a business. And so.
And it's the same type of thing. Now let me show you how I constructed that. Open in Motion. Okay, I took the title background and I placed it into a group. And in that group, I then went into the inspector and I adjusted the properties just randomly. I didn't quite do it randomly. I actually had a picture of them and I zoomed it in so her face was here. This is the right side zoom. I did that, and then I went here and I published the position and the scale. And by doing that, when you see it in Final Cut Pro, you'll see I have position, scale, and rotation. I don't know why I did rotation, because it's not like I use it. It's goofy. But I did position and scale, and I can mess with those things.
With a consumer, then they can make that call right then and there.
And another individual, another consumer is more prone to make emotional decisions than at a.
And that's pretty much it. So those are the three basic methods. I am going to finish this one out. Using the zooms, I think I'm just going to use the zoom titles and just throw them in here. And you can actually copy and paste them from other things. Let's grab that one from there. Let them talk a little bit. And in here, I'm going to cut it. Good. We'll just use that just like that. So you've got your three methods. You've got your cut the clip and zoom it, and you've got the multicam, which actually is my favorite, and the titles. So those are three different ways you can do that. Those are three different ways you can zoom, like make these jump cut zooms.
Then you should, right? Because you're
with one camera.
You're putting in all that work.
Now I recommend, you'll see it kind of losing a little resolution here. I'm shooting it in 4K and I'm editing it in 4K. If I were to edit this in high definition, I wouldn't lose any resolution with this. Not up until I get up to 200% zoom. That's just the way it is. It's because 4K is 4 times the resolution of HD. Okay, that's the end of my live stream. I'm going to go ahead and let this go and get back to work. Thanks for watching.